Do you need to know music theory in order to be able to make good music? Short answer to this question, no. Slightly longer answer to this question, it depends what kind of music you want to make. Even longer but most nuanced answer, knowing music theory is not going to save your bad music into becoming good, and not knowing music theory is not going to guarantee that your music is going to be good either. Okay, so why don't we need to know music theory? Music theory is just a language for explaining something that our ears are hearing. And at the end of the day, our ears want to hear something that sounds good. And you might totally be able to make something that sounds good without knowing why it sounds good. It's kind of like how you don't need to be an English major in order to be able to write beautiful poetry. Now, what exactly do I mean by it depends what kind of music you want to make? There are many different styles of music, and all of them require a different skill set. For example, if you're into electronic music and you're trying to make a song that's like a fusion between glitch hop and breakbeat, you probably don't need to know what notes are in a C major 7 chord, but you probably do need to know how to be able to sample drums, chop them up, and process them in whatever digital audio workstation you're using. And what do I mean by music theory is not going to save your bad music? What I mean is that at the end of the day, music theory is the scientific language that is explaining art. What we're doing is art. And you could have all the knowledge of chords and melodies and rhythms and harmonies and how all of that stuff works together. But at the end of the day, simply knowing that stuff is not a guarantee that you're going to make something that is resonant or emotional or beautiful or creates any sort of effect for people at all. Just like somebody could go to college and study English and be an English major and know everything about the English language, that doesn't guarantee that they're going to be able to write a piece of poetry that moves somebody to tears. And in fact, I think a lot of times it actually works against us because we can essentially get locked into these ideals of fulfilling the rules and operating within the constraints of what we've learned in music theory. And it ends up being something that is limiting instead of helping. But of course, the flip side of this is the other thing that I was saying, which is that ignorance of music theory is not going to guarantee that your music is going to be any good or innovative or beautiful either. You'll always hear people citing these examples of these certain rock stars or these certain rappers or these certain producers, and they'll go, oh, look at this guy. He didn't know anything about music theory, and he made this beautiful music. And it's like, yes, that is absolutely true. These guys did not know music theory, and they made amazing stuff. And also, let's be real. You're not Kurt Cobain. I'm not Kurt Cobain. And if you're able to make amazing music without knowing music theory, that's awesome. Do that. But don't use the examples of exceptional, skilled, and talented artists as an excuse for you to not learn more about your craft. If you're finding that you're not quite able to make the sorts of songs that you want to make, enlarge your toolkit. Learn some music theory. Thanks for watching. Follow for more.